Hello everyone. What we have here is the SDI-SV1 and SDI-SV2 indicator, which for those of you, most of you are going to recognize these two indicators. They look just like the SDI-1 day trader and SDI-2 swing the trader reversal. And it is exactly the same thing. The only difference is that this is designed for markets that do not report volume. We're looking at Euro, US dollar, spot Forex, and as many of you know, TradeStation doesn't provide volume for these instruments, these symbols, these markets, etc. So the challenge is to create the same type of indicator as SDI1 and SDI2 do analyze the volume, and that's one of the features that makes them really a great indicator. Now we had to use some different algorithms for these two indicators, and mostly because a lot of people asked us, they want to have those same indicators for markets like Forex. Uh, in terms of how to use this indicator, for those of you who aren't familiar with SDI1 and SDI2, it's fairly simple. It's a system just to give you, so you could at a glance quantify what the trend is in an objective manner, so you don't have to hesitate or guess. It's simple. Horizontal line is red. The points on top of the histogram are red. You have a green light to look for short trades and ignore long trades. If the histograms were red as well, then you have a really strong, for example in this situation here where it's dark red and then it turned into red, then you would have a very strong downward bias. That's what the indicator would be. That's how you would interpret the indicator. So at minimum you need these points on top of the histogram and the horizontal points to be the same color. And the ideal situation would be something where you have the red points and the red points on top of the histogram, and the histogram is also red color. Then we have the longer term trend, which is the SDI-SV2, just like the SDI2, and that gives you the longer term trend. Ideally, if that's red and we had everything else up here red, then that's showing extreme downward momentum or downward trend or downward bias. So it is very common to have the SDI SV2 to be green because the market had been going up for some time, and then during this session, during one of the sessions, the market starts reversing, and that won't be visible on the longer term on the SDI SV2, but it will be quite visible on the SDI SV1, and then eventually this one will catch up. So generally speaking, this is just to give you a background information of what the market's doing, what the longer term trend or bias is. So as you can see, as the market continued during this session, the downward action progressed, and that's the whole idea for this to be your filter to trade in this direction. Okay, and you would have been very successful doing that. And in terms of timing indicators, what I would recommend is to take a look at the timing indicator link on our website. There are timing indicators there which you can choose from and combine. This is just to show you that this product on spot Forex or on Euro USD or any other cross that you like to trade. Let me also show you how you could use the same indicators on, so if you're Forex, you like to trade Forex but you also trade the index futures and you want to plot the SDI indicators on internals. This is advanced decline difference. That's the symbol for it, which anybody who has TradeStation can access. This is the difference between advancers and decliners plotted as a chart, as one symbol. It's a great internal indice where you can refer to it even as an indicator by itself. And plotting this indicator on it, you could compare the SDI of your internal to the SDI. Let's say you're trading ES, for example, or YM, and you can compare the two SDI indicators to see how lined up they are. Are they doing the same thing, or is one doing? So when the internals are showing you the same thing as is the futures, then obviously everything is lined up nicely, and there's no conflict between the broad market and the E-minis. So that's another idea. And just to wrap everything up, let me show you how to just one idea of a timing indicator that you could use combined with the SDI. Let's go back to the earlier part of the session so we could continue. This is the ideal situation you have. Now, you're not going to get this all the time. When you do get this type of action, it's really up to the market when it provides it. And the SDI will interpret it for you. When you do, you should be all over something like this just to make the most out of it. You have the SDI-2 bullish, and you also have SDI-SV1 bullish also. So you would use a value chart indicator like this, and just quickly, there's value chart is simply -4, -8. That's your buy zones. +4, +8 are your buy zones. Now you don't jump on every single one. First, you want to decide and figure out what the trend is, which the indicators will do for you. That's on this chart. And then you would proceed. Now you do need to have a way of confirming your trade, so you get a -4, -8 reading here. So you need a way to confirm your trades. If you're support resistance, a close above support, etc., something like that. If you're price action savvy trader, then you can use your confirmation, price action confirmation. So for me, this bar right here would have confirmed the trade, so that would have been an entry. And then as the trend is up, okay, I wouldn't have gotten anything on this one, and I would have entered here. Pretty much nothing on that. Okay, no confirmation. This one didn't go far either. Okay, it's from here, I'm being told by SDI-SV1 not to take long trades, so we just continue forward. Okay, and as you can see, there's this one here, no confirmation for me the way I trade. No confirmation here, and the points turned red. Okay. One of the ways I use oscillators like the value chart, etc., like this, I notice when they move being really overbought like they did in this situation here, and I look for price action, and if price action is in the context which I like, then I'm looking to buy a pullback, a very shallow pullback. So this was the prior high, and we made this low. This is where in the early part of the session we got stuck. We made this low here, we made this high, we made this low again. And we were trying to break out of it here. This would have been my long signal. The trend is supporting me, the background. We closed above this resistance area. That would have been my long. I would have been very, in other words, I wouldn't use too wide of a stop just in case it reversed real quick. So that's a long signal for me. Okay, this one could have been a long signal as well, since we made this higher high from here. Just look to buy the pullback, that the trend was in your direction. Here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. Okay, as you can see, as the trend is getting stronger, you notice these histograms are getting green. You're getting to buy all these pullbacks using the value chart. Okay, below 4. Okay, all of these. Okay, here's a nice double bottom that occurred. Okay, right on support. Again, value chart entry. You would have gotten, depending on your stop, you could have gotten stopped on this one, but here's the entry right back in again. If you're using support resistance, you wouldn't have been suckered into this one because it never touched support. Anyways, that's pretty much it. And as you can see over here, trend SDI-SV1 is telling you not to trade. That's it. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Thanks for watching.